Hello, this is Debbie, the North Carolina Stitcher, and this is November the 1st. I'm doing a little quick update. I'm going to add this to a longer video later on in the week. I just wanted to check in and let you know how things have been going and show you my couple of whips I've been working on. First of all, I'm in my stitchy spot here in the living room. I've got all my housework done for the night. It's 1:46 in the morning. So I'm sitting here stitching, waiting for my laundry to finish up. And this has been a long and kind of a hard week for us. Our poodle, Molly, she's 14 years old. She's been getting sick a lot in the last year. She'll just get sick for a few days, get like weak and wobbly, can't hardly walk, and throwing up, and then she'll get better. I thought, well, if she ate something that didn't agree with her, she got a virus or something, and by the time I'd think about taking her to the doctor, she'd start getting better, so I never took her. Well, Sunday, she was fine. She just started, when she got up, she was just kind of acting tired, and I know she's older. She's 14 years old. So, I thought, well, maybe she just didn't sleep well or just the aches and pains of age, Well, as the time went on, she wouldn't eat. She did drink water, but she wouldn't eat any food. And that night, she threw up one time at the front door. She was wanting to go out, and we didn't get there in time. She threw up once. It was just basically, bile on an empty stomach. But that's the one time she threw up. And then Monday, she was still feeling bad. And then Tuesday, I still hadn't been able to get her to eat anything. The only thing I did get her to eat some yogurt and part of it, like a pimento cheese sandwich. Just something to get something in her, We normally don't feed her people food. But I thought, well, we got to do something. Well, we sitting outside on the front porch, and the sun was shining, and we have a little bed out there for her, and she was laying in her bed, and I noticed that her stomach was yellow looking. She's white. She's an apricot, but she's mostly white. And so I thought, well, that doesn't look right. So the next morning, I got up and got her up, and I took her to the vet. Well, he looked at her, showed me under her ears where they're yellow, and even her eyes were yellow, and so she was jaundiced, which is usually a sign of a liver problem. Well, they wanted to keep her in the hospital, and they took blood test, and then they was going to let me know what happened. So they put her in intensive care overnight. They did get her to eat some, gave her antibiotics, and because she was running a fever and fluids. And the next day they got the test results back, and her liver enzymes were they're supposed to be something like 300 or something. They were like 50,000. And the same thing with her white blood cell count. It was real high. So they said, well, the next thing would be probably do a sonogram, but we don't really do those here. We have one, but, it's mostly for pregnancy or, other things. We don't usually do it for diagnostic. But we could, refer her and do an outpatient thing, and it's going to be, it costs $300 for a sonogram. But he says, we're going to keep her here and keep putting fluids in her, and then we might just play around with ours, just to see if we see anything. So he called me back later, and they said when we looked at her with their sonogram, they saw her gallbladder was really big and looked, terrible. So they thought then it had to be a gallbladder problem, and they talked to an internal specialist and stuff, and that's what he thought too. So they recommended that for an operation to get it removed, but that was no guarantee. They said that it might be something more because they've never had one like this. Usually when they find a bad gallbladder, it's just they're looking at something else, and they happen to see one, that's not because they're having any symptoms, and she had a lot of symptoms, and she was really sick. Well, they said that if we operate on her, then she's got a 50-50 chance of making it through it and getting better. That's not great odds. But if we don't operate on her, then she's not going to be around much longer. Just who knows, a week, 2 weeks, who knows. She just eventually would stop eating until she died. Well, my husband discussed it. We'd thought about it before, that we wouldn't put a lot of money into a pet, like that. We just, if they lived a good, long life, then if it's their time to go, it's their time. But it's harder when when you actually have to make that decision for a pet you love. So we decided to go ahead and have the operation. And, you know, because even though she's 14, poodles sometimes can live up to 20 years and be healthy. So, you know, have a good life. So we thought, well, you know, she might have a few more years left. So they kept her another night in the hospital, gave her more fluids, and then this afternoon, they operated on her. And so far, she's doing good, but, you know, she's still not out of the woods. And so we're just hoping and praying that, you know, she gets better and can come home and, you know, have a good, healthy quality of life for the rest of her life. So we'll see what happens, and I'll let you know how things go. Well, anyway, that's a lot. Well, that's only 5 minutes, so that's not too bad for an update. My children seem to be doing a little bit better as far as being more independent, but there's always somebody in crisis. I'm telling you, when you have 10 children, it's like 2 of my kids are having problems. Well, actually, all 3 of them, because my middle son, his girlfriend and him split up yesterday. And then my youngest son, he's starting to get his stuff together with his job and everything. But my older son, now his job is kind of messed up, and so I don't know. It's just worrisome. And then my husband's oldest daughter, she's having problems with her husband. He's an abuser. She won't leave. She won't do anything. It's just driving us crazy. And then his youngest daughter they're being evicted out of their home, so they got to find someplace to move. And it's always something to stress you out, and it's hard. And I have friends who tell me, well, they're adults, you should just tell them to figure it out. And I wish in a way I could be that way, but I'm not that person. I mean, I've discovered about myself that I can't just write my children off and say, well, if you lose your home and you're on the street, so be it, you're an adult. I can't do that. I can't do that. They're my kids. You know, and I worry because I know that I may have to step in and do something, and financially we're not really in a position right now to do any more for anybody, but I don't know. So I appreciate all the good thoughts and prayers on that situation too. So, but anyway, I know you're here for the stitching, so I just want to show you. I'm holding my phone in my hand, so because I'm sitting here on the couch. But this is my Stitchonomy. That was the daily one that I was doing every day, and I still have the border to do, but I've got all the interior done. So that's where it's at right now. That's what I've done. Hope you can see that pretty good. I'm going to work on the border and the outside. Around the outside, there's little stuff there that I need to work on. So I'm going to, I don't know if I'm going to do that right now or just put it away for a while because it's not good. You know, Halloween's done for this year. So, but the other Halloween one that just started yesterday, I'm moderator of that group, and so I feel like I really need to work on it. And the part's not that big, so I think I can get it finished pretty fast. But I started on it yesterday, and this is where I've gotten on this one. And it's coming along really nicely. I like it. I'm using Victorian Motto threads, and Carrie's Creation is the dark. Oh, sorry about that. I'm not trying to give you the middle finger. But the dark thread is the Carrie's Creation, and the other ones are Victorian Motto threads. Now, I think I'm going to work on my Verlinden sampler for the weekend because I really need to get going on that if I want to finish it before the end of this year. And I'm still really debating on these challenge groups. I mean, it sounds so much fun, but then I want to work on that sampler, and it don't fit into a lot of things, and then I don't know. I guess I got FOMO, you know, fear of missing out on this junk, but you know how that goes. So anyway, I thought I'd give you a quick update here, and I might try to do the vlog this week instead of just trying to do one long video. And I hope I didn't offend anybody being in my night clothes, but I am covered up. But okay, so I guess that's going to be it for tonight. I'll update you again, probably not the weekend because my husband's home, and you know how that goes. I also had a cold this week. I haven't had a cold in like 2 years. But anyway, I'm getting better, thank goodness. But I will talk to you again soon, and y'all take care. Bye-bye. Hello. This is Debbie, the North Carolina Stitcher, coming at you kind of sideways on this November the 4th, 2019. I wanted to show you my new gas logs that we just got in a couple of weeks ago. we're really enjoying them now that it's getting cold and stuff, so we can sit in here and read our books or look at our phones and do what we want, you know, and enjoy them. We haven't decided. My husband's kind of wanting to put a TV in here. He's kind of wanting to put it over the fireplace, but I really don't want one up there. I do want to get a mantle put over the fireplace. That'd be kind of cool, you know, for decoration or for hanging stockings for Santa. But anyway, I just wanted to come back and give you a little bit more of an update. This is the second time I've tried to do this, because the first time I kind of lost my composure a little bit talking about my dog. But anyway, we went today to see her for the first time since her operation. She looked so pitiful, and it was really hard, you know, because she just laid there, and then when she saw us, she started trying to get out of the cage and was crying and wanting to come home, and it was terrible. And she looks so sick, and then I wondered if we made a mistake, you know, should just let her go. But you know, when you love your animals, which I know most of you understand this more than I did at first, because, you know, I always thought, you know, if she got real sick, we just, you know, let her go, because, you know, that's a lot of money, and you know, we've run up a I'm not even sure what it is now, but I know it's well over $1,000, and we've paid $300 and something on it already, and every day in the hospital is, you know, probably about $60-70, but she's, you know, like part of our family, and I just can't do it, you know. I just thought that we could just, you know, just say bye to her, but it's not that simple. When you can do something, or you feel like you can do something, that you should do everything you can to help them, you know, to live longer and to have, you know, more time with you. And so the doctor says she's still not out of the woods. She's still really sick, but she's moving around a little bit, but she don't want to eat. So they're having to feed her with a syringe, and of course they've got things going in her IV that for nutrition. And excuse me, I know people hate drinking, which I do too. It's those noises. But anyway, she's going to be in the hospital for a while. I don't know how long. You know, hopefully they'll get her to start eating. And once she starts eating on her own and starts moving around a little bit better, then she'll have turned the corner, I think. But right now, she's still just not doing great. She's holding her own to a certain extent, but she's just really, really sick. So if you pray, please pray. If not, send good vibes or whatever, you know, whatever you want to do, and I really appreciate that. But and then, of course, my youngest son that lives in the mobile home behind the one that bought our house when we bought this one, you know, he's the one that had the car trouble and the job trouble and all that. Now there's an electrical problem, so we got to call an electrician out there, and yeah. So anyway, it's always something. But I just want to come on here and show you the whips I've done, and a couple starts I want to do, and things of that nature. Here is my Halloween sale that I started the other day. I haven't got much more done on it. I didn't work on it about 2 days, maybe 2 days, because I really, really want to get that Verlanden sampler done. And so I worked on it over the weekend. I put in around about 1,000 stitches in it. And let me show you a picture of it, if you can see on my phone. Hopefully you can see it good. This is where it was when I started. I'm working on this motif right here. Oh, that's pretty good. I'm working on that. That's how far I've got on that one. And yeah, I worked on it, and here is where I got to. Down to the very bottom. I just have a little bit more down here, but I'm going to really have to move the Q-snap before I finish that down there. And then that'll be done. I did that too right there, and that goes down, and then I want to get that done before I move the Q-snap. I want to move it up, and this right here is the very bottom of the sampler on the left side. And then I'm going to work my way over, and then, so hopefully by the end of the year I can have this done, so I can have that framed. I'm really, really excited about it. I wanted to get that done. So that's what I've worked. That's all I've worked on since I last, updated you. And so I just wanted to show you a couple of things I want to start for this month. Excuse me, I've had a cold and it's still just hanging on. It's this one right here, and I think this one will go pretty fast. It's called Autumn Pumpkins by the Scarlet House. I got the thread for it. I just got to go in there and find me a piece of fabric. I'm going to do it on some 40 count. It calls for 40 count mocha linen from Weeks Dye Works. I know I got that country mocha, but I don't know if it's the same. I think it looks a little lighter than that. I'll find something though. I've got plenty. So I want to start that one as a fall start. Oh no, I got the fabric right here. Duh. This is birch. It's Newcastle linen. That's what I'm gonna do it on 40 count. I forgot that I got the fabric and put it in there. And this one right here is white willow stitching, and it's the tribal pumpkin. Now this calls for a sulky for the orange and a threadworks for the brown. Now I don't have that threadworks, but I do have that sulky. And I'm not sure what fabric I'm going to put it on. It's kind of a lighter colored what they stitched it on, but I'm not sure what I'm going to put it on. Something that'll match that orange pretty good. So I do want to start with these two. And I have gotten a little bit of haul. And this one right here is my color and cotton fabric of the month. I get 40 count, the primitives. And this month it was driftwood. Really nice. This will go with a lot of samplers. It's a little darker, more brownish than that. It's a little gray. Well, it's a little darker. That is pretty. I really like that. And I got getting ready for Christmas stitching. This is the Prairie Schooler Santa's Night. And I really do want to do this on black. I hate to take them out of these. Well, this is, now it's, I hate those kind. But I really like that. And I might do even the smaller ones. Look at that one up there. Isn't that cute, the way they got that one? So I want to do all those. This is another one. This is a, I saw this somewhere. Can't remember where I saw it. Someone showed it. It's a sampler cove. It's called Midnight in the Garden. And this is my type of sampler right here. I love it. Looks like a clocks sampler. But I got that one. And I want to get started on that. Well, I want to get started on everything. That's my problem. I want to start them all. And I got one from the Good Housewife. Maybe I showed this to you because I remember saying something about that last time. I think I did show this one. 1809 Quaker sampler. But, yeah. I'm sure. Now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure I showed that to you. And today I got this sampler book that I ordered. It's called Sampler Motifs and Symbolism for my sampler library. It's got several, it's got a bunch of, tells you about what they stand, what they mean. And different, and then there's several big samplers in the back. Let's see, this one is one that's in there. I guess it's a morning sampler. And that one. That's 17th century honeysuckle sampler. Yeah, I think there's one more big one, but all those little motifs and stuff, it tells you about what they mean and everything. They're there. You can actually stitch them, This is Dutch windmill sampler. I like Dutch samplers too. And this is an Adam and Eve sampler. There's several in here. The whole sampler. This is an Adam and Eve. And this is Eleanor Ainsley. This is the primitive or the original. That's the biggest one. And then, of course, all through the rest of it's got all the motifs. It tells you what they mean. You know, like, you know, what angels and a bear. It means temper, uncouthness, cruelty, vengeance, gluttony, greed, and paganism. A basket. Here's one basket of fruit. It means fertility and life after death. It is a type of grain similar to wheat. That's barley, excuse me. The basket means maternal protectiveness. A basket of flowers, hope, friendship, and love. A basket of fruit, love, prosperity, health, and happiness. Huh. Well, this is really good. This is really a unique book, and I went on Amazon. I'd seen it somewhere. Someone had talked about this. It might have been Kitten Stitcher. I don't know. I can't remember. But I went on Amazon and looked at it, and it had great reviews. But you know, it wasn't real cheap. I think I paid close to $50 for this, but I really like it. It's one of my favorite ones that I've gotten so far of all the books I've gotten. But anyway, that's my haul, and that's my whips for the last few days. I think I'm going to probably work. I'm not sure if I'm going to work on that sampler again tonight or what. I might work some more on that Halloween. Try to get that part done for the month. And so if you are interested in that one, the group is called Keep Calm and Stitch. And that's the Quaker Halloween sound, mystery sound. And also, I made a decision that I'm going to make the year 2020 the year of Quakers. Now, I'm not going to just only do Quakers because I got too many other kinds of samplers and whips that I want to do. But I'm going to make a conscious effort to make 2020 the year I start a bunch of Quakers and that I try to work on a bunch of Quakers. That's what I want to do. So I actually made a Facebook group called Year of Quaker Cross Stitch 2020. I'll try to put a link down there. I tried to put one on Instagram, but it wasn't clickable or something. I don't know what, but I'll put one in the description box here. And if you're interested, come and join us. There's not very many members yet, but and I've never owned a group, so you know I don't really know what I'm doing. The only thing I've done is started being a moderator of this one group, and that's the first time I've ever done that. So anyway, that's what I'm doing so far this month, and I do want to start some Christmas ones. I'm going to start some fall things. I've been thinking a lot, like I said, about those challenge groups, and I even printed up the acrostic, which that's not as bad. It's not quite as hard to figure out. I can do homework and all that, and you get the whole month to do it. It's like the one about the one ring and the one in the, of course I'm not in Enchanted Stitches, but I'm in the School of Magical Stitches, Semi-Sane Stitchers. I was going to try to do like the Stitch on them, not Stitch on me, the Monopoly, that Stitchopoly, and become a sponsor for the games, but it's just too much for me. I need to stitch on what I want to stitch on, and and it's just some of that homework, and you got to do this and do that and post this and post that. It's just more than I can handle. Now I do enjoy watching everybody's videos where they explain their homework and what they did and how they like connected their whips to whatever homework they're doing. I find that enjoyable to watch that, and I'd like to do it, but that's just at this point it's not for me. Now I'm not saying that I'll never do it, because I have done homework a few times a couple times in the School of Magical Stitches, and I enjoyed doing it, but I don't know. We'll see how next year pans out. It starts panning out for me, and my nose is so stuffed up from this cold. And you know, one day you think you're getting over it, and the next day it comes back full force. But anyway, I don't know if I'm going to upload this tonight, or maybe do another one in a couple days. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, everyone have a great night. And if you have any questions about the Year of Quaker Cross Stitch group, you let me know, and I'll try to find a way to get you over there if you can't find it. And I'm going to make this, like I said, that's my favorite kind of cross stitch. And so that's where I want to go. That's what I want to do. I want to go there. I want to get busy on my Quakers and start a bunch more and buy a bunch more, which I really shouldn't. I probably won't, but we'll see. Anyway, y'all have a good night, and I will talk to you again soon.